for some showers over there for their garden at their house. Now heat, it continues to build into your Tuesday. That's going to be pretty much the hottest part of our work week and technically heading into your Wednesday before some much needed relief will finally make its way towards North Mississippi. And your Mississippi Live news coming up, incentive-based programs for community colleges. Well, our Gabe Maynor, he'll be covering the very latest on everything you need to know. Now let's start off with the weather and dangerous heat that's affecting us. These are current alerts ongoing right now and continuing into your Tuesday all the way towards 9 o'clock. We see these extreme heat warnings, which have been a little bit more widespread since the last time y'all were tuning in, at least last night. And we were seeing these extended towards Grenada, Carroll, and Holmes County. And these are all continuing towards your Tuesday. And no matter where you are here in North Mississippi in our viewing area, even for our Alabama counties, y'all are under those heat advisories. So these muggy conditions, yeah, they're going to continue with us into our Tuesday, but thankfully, lights at the end of the tunnel. We just kind of push through the work week a little bit more. Now take a look at the first 12. Again, a few of us dealing with a few rumbles of thunder. Temperatures in the low 90s, low 80s by 9 o'clock as those showers continue to move on out. And as per usual, we're getting ready for a dry and clearer overnight period in store. Upper 70s by midnight, and again, only cooling off towards mid to upper 70s as we get ready for a sunny start to your Tuesday morning tomorrow. Now, here's what I'm talking about with those rumbles of thunder continuing to move through North Mississippi. Lightning strikes right around 500. We just went up 2, so still showing some healthy thunderstorms continue to move through North Mississippi. And you can kind of see the honestly 3 clusters down here towards Attala County, getting closer towards Greenwood and Grenada, and out here towards Union and Pontotoc continue to move on through, and you can see a healthy amount of lightning strikes just west of Highway 45. But again, most of us are dealing with these dry and just sticky conditions. So if we're lucky enough, this rain will help us feel a lot better as we're winding down for the evening, but definitely could hear quite a few rumbles, heavy downpours as we get ready for what's left of our Monday. Now, take a look at our surface analysis. Again, we don't really have any weather makers in our region just yet. We are tracking this cold front that is bringing hefty severe weather further up north. You can see all those warnings getting issued with it, a few tornado warnings as well. This front will slowly make its way further and further south, bringing that severe weather just north of us into Tennessee and Kentucky. Thankfully, none of us are within those areas for your Tuesday ahead, but we're going to keep our eyes on that to see if we get any storms overnight. And you can see that big old L down there in the Gulf, Tropical Depression number 2, still not quite making it to Bertha status or the second named storm of the season, but we can definitely see that as we continue throughout the rest of the evening, and we'll give you constant updates to keep you guys updated. Now, taking a look at Futurecast, again, we're dealing with some rainy conditions here in North Mississippi for a few of us, much needed, allowing us to kind of cool on off. And as we continue throughout the rest of the overnight period, we're going to slowly see those rain changes continue to dig further and further south, but start to diminish in nature as well. Again, we're not talking about anything severe. In fact, we're actually seeing that tropical storm symbol pop up pretty quickly further on south. So we're going to have to keep our eyes on that, but we're returning to dry conditions and mostly sunny skies as we get ready for our Tuesday morning coming on up tomorrow. Now, taking a look at the next 24, we're talking about mid to upper 70s as we're walking out of the doors tomorrow by 6 o'clock, mostly clear skies. That's going to continue towards lunchtime, and then that cloud cover will start to build back up just a little bit as we get ready for the lunchtime hours, and of course, dealing with a few afternoon showers and storms. Temperatures, that is pretty much the most important part of this forecast as we get ready for our Tuesday. Dangerous heat will continue to affect us. Not many of us will be fortunate to see these showers, so spend your time outdoors wisely. Keep pushing those fluids and keep that water bottle handy. It is going to be a toasty Tuesday tomorrow. Now, coming up in the next 60 seconds, we're going to be letting you know everything you need to for your Monday and Tuesday, everything weather. But first, our Gabe Maynor is going to be covering the latest on your local news all across North Mississippi. That's coming up in the next minute.
It's happening right now. No sales tax at Room to Room Furniture in Tupelo. No sales tax or 24-month special financing, plus 50% off store-wide. Did we mention no sales tax? It's happening at Room to Room Tupelo.
Welcome to the next generation of local news, Mississippi Live. Where you are, when you want it, we're focused on you because local matters. We are Mississippi Live.
Hi, I'm Mississippi Live Chief Meteorologist Matt Lawpon. Reserve your St. Jude Dream Home giveaway ticket by July 31st, and you'll be eligible to win the house and the early bird prize, a $10,000 gift card to Brooks Grocery. Visit dreamhome.org to reserve your ticket for $100 and help St. Jude Children's Research Hospital continue its life-saving work. Then watch Mississippi Live on October 29th to see who wins the house and the other prizes. Reserve your ticket today.
Welcome to the next generation of local news, Mississippi Live. Where you are, when you want it, we're focused on you because local matters. We are Mississippi Live.
Boys and Girls Club of North Mississippi presents Dance Like the Stars 2026, Saturday, August 8th at the Huntington Bank Arena. Floor seating is $50 and general admission seating is $20. All proceeds benefit the Boys and Girls Clubs of North Mississippi. For more information, visit bgcnms.org.
The bravest thing that my dad has done has been going back to school.
It wasn't when he first enlisted, it was when he found his first support group.
The bravest thing she did is when she asked for help.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Right now, from the Mississippi Live Weather Center, here's meteorologist Caleb Edelblut.
Well, thanks for sitting here with us from Mississippi Live at 5. Before we continue on with the weather and news broadcast, let's take a look at those storms that continue to move through North Mississippi. Very organized and healthy cluster, pretty much along I-22, getting closer and closer towards Booneville. We can zoom in on this for you guys. We'll take a look at our cameras. These are honestly where most of those lightning strikes are coming from. Actually moved it just a little bit. Let's keep it right around there. 313, well within these thunderstorms moving through New Albany. So you guys getting heavy downpours, constant rumbles and flashes. You can see quite a cluster right here with those constant lightning strikes just northwest of Guntown, getting closer and closer towards Highway 45. We could take a look at our peak threats here. Again, we're not dealing with anything severe at this moment and not expecting that heading into the rest of your evening, but you can still see some light shades of pink showing that hail is possible, potentially up to pea or dime-sized hail, but meeting that 1 inch severe weather criteria, thankfully not really on the table. It's just going to be a lot of heavy rainfall, and we're probably going to be able to see this with our camera out there. I believe this one should be the New Albany one, if we can get this one to load. Yeah, take a look at that. Just heavy downpours, and you can actually kind of see where it's starting, I think. That's probably the rain, and you kind of see that foot kind of protruding off of just this heavy rainfall. So 84 degrees feels like 97. That temperature will decrease very quick in the next few minutes. Even saw a flash of lightning as well. So heavy downpours continue to move through a lucky few communities. And I keep saying lucky. Technically, we don't really want storms, but because we're not talking about anything severe, these are allowing us to feel a lot better as we cool off throughout the rest of the evening and get ready for the overnight period. Let's take a look at our Pontotoc camera as well, as you guys are dealing with some showers a little bit more focused further up north, not directly on the camera. But 84 degrees, again, feels like 97, significantly warmer, but dark clouds out there in the distance. Not quite seeing any flashes of lightning, at least making their way down at this moment. And you can see some sun rays kind of peeking through a clearing in the cloud cover. So again, we're not dealing with anything severe. We're not expecting that throughout the rest of the evening. This is just allowing us to feel kind of a lot better as we continue on here throughout the rest of our evening. And we can go a little bit further south down here towards Atala County, towards Kosciuszko. You guys dealing with a lot of heavy rainfall as well, and some light shade of pink and that purple indicating that hail could be possible if we're talking about peak impacts. But again, dealing with anything severe, thankfully not a part of the forecast. Let's take a look at our Kosciuszko camera to see if we can see some of those showers. I know it always looks towards the church, and you can see some heavy rainfall kind of surrounding the camera. 93 degrees feels like 106. I think you can see a stray shower further out here on the left side of your screen and even towards the right. Thankfully not really on top of the camera just quite yet, but I know you guys down there hoping to cool off because feel like 106 still at 5 o'clock. And we're ready to kind of be indoors for the rest of the night and not have to deal with anything. Looks like that just kind of glitched out and our color table just switched. So showing pink everywhere instead of where that green should be. So again, we're not dealing with that, thankfully. We'll continue to enjoy just some showers, few rumbles of thunder, and not dealing with anything severe. So we'll keep our eyes on that throughout the rest of the broadcast and keep you guys updated. Now, taking a look at our evening planner, we're talking about 20% coverage by 7 o'clock. Temperatures in the low 90s. Again, feeling dramatically warmer. Low 80s by 10, upper 70s by 1 o'clock. And we're talking about a clearing starting to take place later on tonight. Now, those heat indices, that is current, kind of feels like temperatures as you're walking out of the doors. You can definitely tell two different colors across North Mississippi, and that's for those impacted by rainfall and by those who are not. So 86 out there in Houston, 89 Eupora. Y'all have dealt with a few thunderstorms and currently ongoing here in North Mississippi. While the rest of us, when we don't get them, we're feeling blistering hot. 114 out there in Clarksdale, 108 in Greenville, 120 in Tunica. So if those are accurate, I mean, pay special care and attention to how long you spend outdoors. This is dangerous heat as we continue heading into the work week, and it'll be a toasty Tuesday coming on up. Now, Futurecast still showing where we can expect a few thunderstorms by 5:30. I think it's the placement. Not too terrible, but still, it's got some work to do. Of course, summer in Mississippi, it's always going to be like that. We're going to continue seeing those move kind of in that southern direction, kind of moving on out of North Mississippi. And even by 10 o'clock, we're talking about mostly dry conditions. So this is not going to be an all-night, overnight issue that we have to deal with. They'll continue to kind of dwindle on throughout the next few hours. We're returning to completely dry conditions by 11 to 12 o'clock and then enjoying clearer skies all night long. And we get to wake up with a beautiful start to our Tuesday morning, but still going to be quite warm. Take a look at those low temperatures, mid to upper 70s all across North Mississippi. Our average should be around 93. You can see here, or not 93, 73 for Tupelo, and we're 3 ticks above that 30-year average. So already starting warm, which means temperatures, well, they don't have to work that extra hard to get even further into your afternoon hours. So let's take a look at Futurecast. Again, a mostly sunny and dry start to your Tuesday. It's going to be a fantastic start to the workday and coolest part of the day as well. As we continue throughout the mid-morning hours, getting closer towards lunchtime, we're getting closer towards those partly cloudy conditions as moisture continues to build on up, but this time only really in cloud cover. We're not talking about rain showers just yet. In fact, it'll take a little bit longer if we can finally talk about a few by 3 o'clock out here towards DeSoto County and getting just southeast of Greenwood, but that coverage dramatically lower tomorrow afternoon compared to what we're experiencing today. So those rain chances a little bit more prominent for your Monday, what we're currently experiencing. Not expecting that as we go about our Tuesday tomorrow. We're going to continue to see these drift on through. A little bit more focus for you guys out there in the Delta, a little bit healthier out there just outside of Greenville. I know you guys haven't seen quite as much rain as the eastern portion of our viewing area has seen in the past 24 to 48 hours. So finally nice to see the North Mississippi sharing the love, getting y'all some much needed rainfall, and hopefully that'll help y'all cool off, because take a look at those high temperatures. Mid to upper 90s yet again, and Greenville pushing triple digits. We're talking about highs. We're not talking about those feels like values. We're used to seeing triple digits here, and we're making that, I mean, easily. 115 out there in Clarksdale, 114 Cleveland, 113 Greenville. This is exactly why those extreme heat warnings are issued for your Tuesday, and why Tuesday will be the hottest, I think, day of summer that we've been experiencing so far. So everything that we've kind of endured throughout May, June, all throughout July, this will be the hottest day tomorrow. So make sure to take it seriously. And still mid to upper 110, kind of closer to that region. So make sure to feel that AC, or at least stay indoors as much as you can. It will be a toasty one. Now, for the kids still in summer, I know my little brother, he started school today, so he'll have to endure the classroom tomorrow. But for those still not in school yet, enjoy the pool outdoors. It'll still be a fantastic day to do so, to help cool you guys off. Low 80s by 8 o'clock, low 90s by noon, mid to upper 90s by 3 o'clock. Again, feeling significantly warmer. Thankfully, hopefully not quite having to deal with too many rumbles of thunder as we go about the day. Now, Futurecast, again, mostly sunny as we're wrapping up our Tuesday evening. It's still going to be a fantastic day, at least looking beautiful, but going to feel just miserable as we go about it. And Strike, I can finally agree with this model during the 5 o'clock hour, not giving us ample amounts of rain chances on our Tuesday. I'm still expecting that as we continue throughout the evening. Maybe a stray shower or two, but still a whole lot of dry conditions and clear skies all across North Mississippi by 10 o'clock. And as we get ready for the overnight period, we are talking about this front that will eventually drape and kind of continue to push a little bit more southern here in North Mississippi. We can see, if we zoom this out just a little bit, how it kind of continues all across the eastern United States, and that's going to deal with or bring a little bit of severe weather kind of further up north, northeast for Tennessee into Kentucky. But thankfully, we're not quite included in that. And we have that tropical storm potentially further on south, getting closer towards making a landfall by Wednesday morning. Whether or not it makes landfall as a named storm, that's what we're going to continue to look at throughout the next few hours here at Mississippi Live and continue to give you an update. So continuing on here with our strike model, we're seeing that stationary front. That's around 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. We're still not dealing with those rain chances just quite yet, but with it sitting over North Mississippi, we still have the chance for it to provide just enough lift for a few showers or rumbles of thunder. But again, that coverage, very, very minimal. In fact, it'll be pretty much the most southeastern portion of our viewing area, while you guys are enjoying some drier air starting to filter on through, which will bring us that much needed relief as we wrap up our Wednesday and head into our Thursday. Now, it looks like our Gabe Maynor is here joining us for this broadcast. What do you have to share?
Well, Caleb, I've been working on news behind the scenes, as we'll see here coming up in a moment. But, you know, I'll be honest, you're an expert on Bertha compared to my knowledge right now. Is this going to specifically impact us here in North Mississippi?
Well, I will say with some of those rain chances that we're seeing today, that's due to a short wave that kind of got protruded off of that tropical system down south. So as far as impactful, not necessarily, but it does help us kind of get to witness some of these rain chances here in North Mississippi, which I know for the Maynor household, it's much needed. So.
Yeah, you say that pretty confidently when the Maynor household stays dry day after day. So, no. So if we're talking about severe impacts, you don't think that's necessarily for our area?
No, for that severe weather, we're about to cover that coming up here in the next graphic or two. It's more northeastern from our viewing area. Thankfully, at this moment, we're not even in the level 1 marginal risk. That continues to stay just shy of North Mississippi, kind of for central Tennessee. Now, if we were to see that shift a little bit more west, well, then it looks like Tishomingo County, Aucoin County, we might have to start talking about that. But models have been pretty confident on the severe weather likelihood staying further northeast, losing its head of steam as we transition into the overnight period, and just kind of enjoying that sleep weather with a few rumbles of thunder and some showers and hopefully some much needed rainfall here in North Mississippi.
Yeah, for sure. And whenever we're talking about, maybe severe weather impacts being lacking with tropical systems, that's a big rainfall producer for this time of year that can help alleviate some of those drought concerns. So out in the Delta, they're still sitting under, I think, level 4 drought still to this day. Is this going to be a drought buster, or is this going to be something that may help, or maybe not at all?
I want to say, unfortunately, it's not, because we want to see those drought conditions
Bearer of bad
lessen.
news, Caleb.
Yeah, I know, exactly. But also, we don't really want that severe weather that comes with it. So that continues to be a positive with this forecast. And that's where we're going to keep our eyes on very closely as we get ready for our Tuesday overnight period heading into your Wednesday. But I mean, we just covered it here with strike, and we're still not seeing too much. And typically, this model loves to give us ample amounts of rain chances. So kind of like how it's taking this forecast as of right now, we'll keep you updated throughout the rest of the evening ahead. Now, another thing we can guarantee, it's still going to be pretty toasty on our Wednesday, but take a look at the most northern side of our viewing area compared to further south. That's the relief starting to make its way into North Mississippi. Of course, it reaches you guys further up north, heading into our Thursday. But low 90s, further north you go, mid to upper 90s still, especially for the southern portions of the Delta, and feels like values also having a difference. I mean, we're talking about kind of those lighter pinks, those white shades. That was widespread all across North Mississippi for your Tuesday. We're starting to see kind of those darker purple, some red hues make their way back in. That continues to be a good sign. That's the relief that we continue to talk about for your Tuesday. Now, here's that severe weather risk that we're talking about. Again, it's not affecting us here in North Mississippi per se, but I mean, we can even zoom in on this for you guys to take a look. I mean, we're not that far off from it. If we scroll in all the way towards Tishomingo County, Aucoin County, I mean, if I could measure that, that's not too significant. So we could definitely talk about maybe a few stronger storms heading into your Tuesday overnight period, but we're talking about increased confidence the further north, northeast you go here in the United States, and especially along the East Coast, reaching that level 3 enhanced area, and then slight and marginal the further that it makes its way towards us here in North Mississippi. So we're going to continue to keep our eyes on that as we get ready for the next few days here in North Mississippi. Thankfully, we'd like to see some more rainfall, but we'll make sure to keep our eyes on that here Looks like we're zooming back in. Let's see if I can get that to come back here towards our 7-day, because I mean there's been a lot that we are covering here during the 5 o'clock broadcast. So taking a look at your 7-day forecast, again we're dealing with drier conditions as we go about our Tuesday, hottest day of the summer coming on up, mid to upper 90s, feels like values pushing 110 or greater in a lot of North Mississippi, and definitely reaching 105 or more. Mid 90s by Wednesday, as the most northern portion of our viewing area will start to feel a little bit better than all of us by Thursday, talking about low 90s. Again, still July here in Mississippi, but feeling a lot closer towards those temperatures. And right on cue, as we get ready for another weekend, we're still going to talk about those rain chances making their way back. But again, like I keep mentioning at this point, I think most of us wouldn't mind seeing those make their way back a little bit more prominent across North Mississippi. And that mugginess, well, it'll slowly build back in yet again. But coming up here in the next 60 seconds, we're going to give you that full breakdown of the local news coming up here in just a second. But we want to do a look at radar here with analysis. Okay. We'll take a look at analysis really quick, and then we'll get ready for the rest of our broadcast coming up here at 6. But again, we're not dealing with anything too intense here in North Mississippi. Still just kind of some lightning strikes, some rumbles of thunder coming on through. And we have our meteorologist, Gabe Maynor, still keeping his eyes on the radar, getting ready for your news coming up soon.
Yes, Caleb, we're actually going to, let me turn on my mic real quick. We'll have you look at radar coming up here in just a moment. While you're getting that ready, let's go ahead and talk about the news here on what's going on here in North Mississippi.
Perfect.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Mississippi Live News at 5. I'm meteorologist Gabe Maynor. Mississippi's community colleges are pitching a new program that would train 5,500 additional workers every year, but only if they deliver results. It's called the Jobs Promise Performance Program, say that 5 times fast, and it's part of the Mississippi Association of Community Colleges legislative agenda for the upcoming year. The idea is simple: tie state funding directly to workforce outcomes, not just enrollment numbers. Instead of counting how many students sign up, the program would measure success by how many students actually finish high-priority training programs and land jobs in fields facing shortages, like advanced manufacturing, healthcare, logistics, aerospace, and IT. Dr. Ricky Ford, president of Northeast Mississippi Community College and chair of the association, says it's about making the jump from classroom to career smoother for students. The price tag, $41.5 million in exchange for those 5,500 additional trained workers each year. By the way, supporters say the state will need tens of thousands more skilled workers in the upcoming years to keep up with the growing industries. The program still needs approval from the Mississippi legislature when lawmakers return for the 2027 session. The next steps are in place for the Tanglefoot Trail, literally and figuratively. A new study laid out 5 possible routes to extend the Tanglefoot Trail from New Albany all the way to Ripley. The original plan was to run a trail alongside the active railroad, but that changed when the railroad was sold to a new owner. Kent Bain with Mississippi Hills National Heritage Alliance put it bluntly: the new owners told them to stay off their right-of-way. That rules out 2 of the 5 options right away. The remaining 3 options either follow Highway 15 or cut away from both the highway and railroad entirely. The price tags vary by a wide margin. The cheapest option runs about $600,000. The most expensive could top $66 million. And none of those numbers even include land acquisition. The next step is for officials to pick a preferred route and start securing funding for the first phase of construction. Now, we've all heard Caleb talking about it through the weekend. Tropical Storm 2 is continuing to develop out in the Gulf, and it continues to be on the stronger side. If the storm continues to strengthen, then this would be the second named storm in the Atlantic hurricane season and would become Tropical Storm Bertha. Our chief meteorologist, Matt Laupon, is down in Florida right now, giving us the latest on the storm.
Waves remain rough and the water high here in St. George Island, Florida. I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Laupon. We are on kind of the northeast edge of Tropical Depression 2. I see blue for the first time in basically all day, back to the south of our location. If you go west of here and southwest, about 90 to 100 miles, that's the center of Tropical Depression 2. Yet to be upgraded to tropical storm anything, and might not even go all the way to Bertha, though that is still anticipated over the next 24 hours. The beaches here are technically open. The water is closed. The waves have been obviously very high and tumultuous, and the rainfall has been very consistent, where we've had rainfall at my location here in Franklin County about 7 inches over the last 24 hours as band after band moves in with this tropical system. We've had a few that have had some rotation with them. To our eyes, we've seen no water spouts to this point in time. You know, this system, again, I mentioned about 100 miles that way. It's going to continue making its way through the northern portion of the Gulf, obviously creating rough waters for locations through the Florida Panhandle, South Alabama, South Mississippi, Louisiana, eventually making its way toward Texas over the course of the next few days. You can track this system using the Mississippi Live app. We have the official track there again for the National Hurricane Center. Is one of the layers you could turn on Mama Justice Doppler radar. You can put on those tracks. You can also put on the individual tracks for where the different models have the center of the system going, as well as all the alerts and things of that nature. And we've been watching those obviously very closely from our location. From St. George Island, Florida, I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Lopon for Mississippi Live.
Thank you, Matt, and thank you for joining us tonight for Mississippi Live News at 5. I'm meteorologist Gabe Maynard. Keep it here for the very latest.
Well, thank you so much for supporting us here at Mississippi Live at 5. We'll be live coming up here in the next few minutes as we get ready for the broadcast at 6. Thank you, and keep it up here for the very latest.